Statement called Detective Aaron Huck.
State may proceed with its examination.
Sorry. Morning.
Good morning.
Tell everybody your name and occupation, please.
Aaron Huckey. I'm a detective with the City of Hamilton Police Department.
And how long have you been with Hamilton Police Department?
21 years.
And how long have you been a detective?
8 years.
Okay. What are your duties as a Hamilton Police Department detective?
As a detective, I investigate crimes that happen and occur within the City of Hamilton.
Okay. And what is your training and education to be a police officer in general?
Went to the Russell Lee Police Academy. After graduation, was hired on after being promoted. I went to the multiple different OPATA courses for crime scene tech as well as photography.
Okay. And is that your, that training go to being a detective also then?
Yes.
Okay. Any other training you have, or is that
I have
formal or informal?
Also have training within for the Faro 3D scanner,
Okay.
as well as bullet trajectory.
Okay. And on October 11th of 2022 to respond out to 1270 Parish Avenue?
Yes, I was.
Okay. And that's in the city of Hamilton, Butler County, Ohio?
Yes, it is.
And what purpose were you called out there for?
My Lieutenant Patrick Erb, called me and asked if I would process a scene at 1270 Parish.
Okay. What does that mean to process a scene?
Overall, to photograph and then collect evidence.
Okay. So what time did you arrive there at 1270 Parish?
Approximately 1 p.m.
Okay. And other officers, they got there about an hour then before you?
Yes.
So what was the scene when you arrived there around 1?
Upon my arrival, the scene had already been taped off to include the street just west of the residence, as well as north and south of the residence, and the rear alley of the residence.
Okay. Officers everywhere doing different tasks, I assume?
Yes.
Okay. And what, why don't you explain to the jury what tasks were you there to perform then?
Upon my arrival, I met with Officer Katie Johnson. She described to me what actions she had taken. I knew that Detective Tony Keep had already been securing a search warrant for the residence. So while I waited for that search warrant to be signed and approved, I went ahead and started taking photographs of the exterior of the residence.
Okay. How long did it take before you got the search warrant and then you got to actually go into the residence?
I would say approximately 45 minutes or so.
Okay. So I'm going to ask you about all the pictures you took here in a second.
Sure.
So just trying to do it all at once. So, so you went around the entire exterior of the house and took photographs?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And once you got the search warrant and went in, did you then enter the residence at 1270?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Did you notice anything as soon as you went in the house?
Immediately upon entering the residence for an initial walkthrough, I smelled an overwhelming smell of rubbing alcohol within the residence, specifically within that first two rooms, right
Okay.
inside the front door.
And you took note of that?
Yes.
Okay. Does that indicate anything to you?
To me, it would be used as,
Approach, please.
I'm going to move on from that.
Sure.
But, so you said you smelled the rubbing alcohol. Then when you go in, what's the next thing you did once you entered the residence?
I began to just do an initial walkthrough of the residence. So that's going room by room and observing just the overall layout of the residence as well as possible items of evidence.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Bruce.
You may.
Mr. Wilder, is the 1 through 69. I'm going to have you look at, and then 209. Yeah, and then 1 through 69 on there, and then 209.
All right, I got it, thanks.
All right. Detective, I'm going to have you just, can you briefly flip through 1 through 69, and then look at 209 when you get done with the first ones, and then once you've looked at, let me know once you've looked at all those. Can you please, exhibits 1 through 69, can you please identify what those are?
Photographs that I've taken of the scene.
Okay. And are those true and accurate, fair representation of the way the scene looked on October 11th of 2022 when you were there?
Yes, they are.
All right. And exhibit 209, can you please identify that one?
That's a diagram of the residence, the first floor as well as the second floor.
Okay. Did you create that?
Yes, I did.
And is that a fair representation of the floor plan of that, the home at 1270 Parish and the way it looked on October 11th of 2022?
Yes, it is.
All right. I would ask that States Exhibit 1 through 69 and then 209 be admitted and permission to publish, Your Honor.
All right. Looks like 4, 6, 33, 45, 46, 47, 55, and 57 have already been admitted. So aside from those, do you have any objections to the other exhibits that are being offered at this time, Mr. Wilder?
No.
Okay, those will be admitted and they may be published.
All right. Just start with number 1. All right, so we're going to go through these one by one, Detective. And there is, if you see here to your right, down, if you step, there's a pointer on the outside of the witness box where you are if you want to, if you, oh, can you might be able to, if you touch that screen in front of you, will it, can you draw circles on it or lines, or does it work with your finger?
Yeah, I'm just waiting for it done.
No, okay, so we don't need the pointer. Should be good. And I think if you go to the top left corner of the screen, or is it top right? Top right, you might be able to hit clear to get that, what you just put on there. Okay. All right, can you please describe to the jury what we're looking at here in State's Exhibit 1?
The exterior of the front to 1270 Parish Avenue.
Okay, and is that now Detective Johnson, I believe, standing on the front porch there?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Let's go to Exhibit 2. And again, please describe what we're looking at here.
Again, it's just a little bit altered view of the same front of 1270 Parish Avenue.
Okay. And are you aware of what is on the wall there in the bottom, I guess it's the bottom right corner of the picture?
Yes.
And what is, can you put a circle around it?
Yes.
And what did you just circle there?
I circled, it was a pack of cigarettes. Some of them are outside of the box.
Okay, all right, if you want to hit play on that. All right, let's go to State's Exhibit 3. And what are we looking at in State's Exhibit 3?
That's a closer view of the same pack of cigarettes with a few of them outside of the box.
Okay. State's Exhibit 4. And please describe this exhibit.
It's the front of 1270 Parish Avenue. It's an approach.
Okay, and the caution tape's up around the house?
Yes.
Let's go to State's Exhibit 5. What are we looking at here?
The steps leading up to the residence.
State's Exhibit 6. And what are we looking at in this one?
As we approach up the steps to the front door.
Okay, doors open?
Yes.
Okay. Any damage to the door or any sign of a break-in that you saw?
No.
State's Exhibit 7. And again, I'm going to ask this question a lot. Please
Yep,
describe
that's
this
fine.
to the jury.
This is the windows to the left as well as the left side of the front of the residence.
Okay. Now, is there anything of note in the window on the right there?
It would be a piece of board or something blocking the windows.
Okay. All right. And let's go on to State's Exhibit 8. Or, I'm sorry, one second. Well, and I'm sorry, before we go to 8, is there you said there's a board inside. Can you just circle what you're talking about there?
Right here. In the residence, there's a board.
Okay.
Set up
And is
there.
there damage to the window itself?
No.
Okay. Down in the right corner of the right window, what am I seeing there? Is that,
I believe that's to the screen, the window screen.
that's just damage to the window?
Window screen.
Okay, no damage to the glass itself, though, correct?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
Okay. Let's go on to number 8. And what are we looking at here?
Again, it's just an altered view of the same angle with showing the roof.
Okay. Number 9. And what is this picture of?
This is the area below that same set of windows showing the block windows for the basement.
And any damage to those block windows?
No.
Number 10. Again, what's this one?
The same windows again showing the board behind them.
Okay. Number 11. What are we looking at here?
A glimpse of both those windows, the top and the basement block windows, as well as the area just north of the residence showing the neighbor's house.
Okay, and that would be Ms. Mayor's house at 1260 on the left there?
Yes,
And this is still the front of the house, correct?
that's correct.
Okay. Let's go on to number 12.
This is an overview.
Okay.
This is an overview of the north side of the residence between the neighbor's house.
Okay, and how far would you say the houses are apart there, where the walls are?
Probably within 8 feet, 10 feet.
Okay, you still walk through there, you could fit through there?
Yes.
Okay. Any damage to the windows that we see on the pictures to 1270 there in the side of the house?
No.
Let's go on to number 13. And what are we looking at here?
An additional view showing down the north side of the 1270 Parish Avenue.
All right, and again, no damage to the windows there?
Correct.
The same windows we saw before.
Correct.
14. And what are we looking at in this picture?
This is one of the basement windows. It's blocked with one of those vent screens, allowing you to open it up. That's on the north side of the residence.
Okay, and any damage to any of the glass blocks there?
No.
15? Or, well, hold on 1 second. What, is the screen ripped out of that? Is that a window that you would crank open?
I believe so.
Okay. And is there any damage to that actual piece that moves itself, or are we just looking at the screen ripped?
Just the screen ripped.
Okay. 15, please. What are we looking at here?
That is a window from the north side of the residence.
Okay, these are the same 2 windows we've seen in the previous pictures, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, and that, again, no damage?
Correct.
16.
Again, one of the same 2 windows, no damage.
17.
This is going to be the rear of the residence.
Okay, so that's the back door there?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know if that, when you went through the house and went through the outside, was that door locked or unlocked?
It was locked.
Any damage to that door?
Yes, there was.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yes, there was. Appeared to be It did have previous damage.
Previous damage, not. And what do you mean by previous damage?
It was damaged, but it was still functioning as it should.
Okay. All right. And the screen door, are you talking about damage to the actual door itself, not that storm door on the, or which door do you, there's 2 doors?
Yeah, the actual, not the screen door.
Okay. All right. Where was that damage?
It was to the inside frame, the locking side of the frame of the door, as well as dents to the door.
Okay. But again, that door was locked when you arrived on scene?
Yes.
Okay. Any damage to those windows that we see in the picture there?
No.
18, please. Again, what are we looking at here?
Looking again at the rear of the residence, there's 3 windows two of them for the first floor, and there are items stacked up or blocking the view into and out of the windows.
Okay, so those are items inside the house that you couldn't see out of the windows?
That's correct.
19, please. And please describe this one.
Just, again, an overall of the back of the residence.
20. What are we looking at in this one?
Closer view of the back door.
Okay. And where did you see, can you see the damage in this picture?
Yes.
Where, can you circle it where you saw damage?
It would be off to the right of the two door handles.
Okay, and that, there are two deadbolts though, correct? Or two locks, is that fair to say?
Two locks, yes.
Two locks?
Yes.
And they were both functioning?
Yes.
If you want to hit clear
Yep.
there. 21, please. And what are we looking at in State's Exhibit 21?
This is going to be an overview of the south side of the residence, leading back to the front of the house.
Okay, so if you were on the street, this would be the right side of the house if you were looking at the house from the street, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And air conditioning unit out there?
Yes.
And then two, or I guess there's three windows, isn't there?
3 windows.
Okay. Any damage to those windows?
One of the windows does have damage to it.
What kind of damage?
Damage to the glass.
Okay. I believe we'll see that in a photo coming up here. Let's go to 22. What are we looking at in this picture?
This is a photo of the front bedroom glass window.
Okay. And is there damage to this window?
Yes.
Well, just circle where it is, please. Okay. Is the glass intact?
Partially.
Is it missing out of anywhere, or?
Yes, it's missing out of this area right here.
Okay, all right. And then there's some tape, tape at the bottom there?
Yes,
Correct?
down here.
Okay. And you can clear that out. Can I have 1 second, Ron? I'm sorry, I had you cleared out. I shouldn't have. Can you circle where the hole is in the glass again? Okay. Is that hole there, is that, could a person fit through that?
No.
Okay. Now you're clear. Thank you. 23. What are we looking at in 23?
This is an above view of the same window,
Okay.
an angle showing the top half of the window.
Okay. And is that glass intact on 23?
Yes.
Or, I'm sorry, at the top half that's intact?
Yes.
Okay. 24. Well, what do we have here?
Again, this is a block window for the basement with one of those vent openings.
Okay. And again, is there any damage to that?
No.
25. And what are we looking at in this one?
This is another basement vent window with the glass block.
Okay. Is this a different one than 24?
Yes, this is
Okay.
further down the residence, closer to the street.
Closer to the Parish Avenue?
Yes.
Okay. And any damage to that window?
No.
Thank you. 26? What do we have here?
These are the remaining 2 windows for the front room of the residence.
All right. And how high are those windows off the ground, would you say?
I'd estimate about 8 feet or so.
Okay. Could you, so fair to say you couldn't stand there on your feet and look in those windows?
Correct.
Okay. Any damage to those windows?
No.
Number 27. And please describe this one.
And this is from looking back the way we just traveled, looking back towards the back of the residence.
Okay. Just a different view of those same photos, same windows we just looked at, correct?
Correct.
Okay. 28. And what do we have here?
This is a GMC Terrain that was parked immediately in front of the residence.
Okay. And do we know whose vehicle that is?
Yes,
And whose vehicle is that?
it would be the victims.
Would that be Rachelle Brewsaugh's vehicle?
That's correct.
Any damage to that vehicle? Or that you saw or noticed of anything?
No.
29, please. And what are we looking at here?
This is the top of the front porch leading up to the front door of the residence with a partially burnt or smoked cigarette.
Okay. We'll come back to that then. Okay. And that's the doors open, correct?
Correct.
That's the front door, right?
Yes.
30?
This is a closer view of the same cigarette.
Okay. And did you collect that cigarette?
Yes.
Okay. I'll keep going through the pictures and then we'll come back to that later. 31, please. What do we have here?
It's getting entry into the front door of the residence, into the front room, immediately off the front door.
Any damage to the door there?
No.
Okay. And is that Ms. Brewsaugh on the floor in the back of the picture?
Yes.
And 32? What are we looking at in this picture?
This is the interior of that same front door with the door shut. And-
was the door functioning?
Yes.
Door lock functioning?
Yes.
Okay. Both the deadbolt and the lock on the handle there?
Yes.
33? What do we have in this picture?
This is an overview of the victim lying face up immediately inside the front room of that residence.
Is this how she was found when Detective Johnson arrived, or Officer Johnson at the time? Or if she had been moved at any point here?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
This is how she was when I arrived.
Okay. 34? What are we looking at in this picture?
Additional view showing down the wall as well as some of the blood and some of the furniture within that room.
And what is that? May I approach the screen?
You may.
Thank you. What are we looking at? What is this in the window here?
In the window, it is a floor sample. When you go to buy flooring, you can take some of the samples. And it's one of those boards to bring back to the residence, try to pick out flooring.
Okay. And I believe that at the bottom on the windowsill there's blood on either side of that floor sample board, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And approach again.
Okay.
This, I know we'll see other pictures of it, but what is this? What are we looking at right here?
It's a cabinet that's been knocked down.
Okay. And what is this piece of furniture here or wood?
The top of a table that's leaning up against the wall.
Okay. All right. Can I have 1 second?
Sure.
Detective down in the corner by Rachelle's foot here, is that, what do we have here?
That's a broken lamp.
Okay. And is it sitting on the floor?
Yes.
Okay. Is it, and you say it's broken, is that
Well, the top part of the lamp is broken.
the shade part?
Yes.
35? And what are we looking at in this State's Exhibit 35.
An additional overall view of the same corner,
Okay. Blood on the floor?
blood on the floor.
Okay, just point out where the blood is, please.
As well as the trim board. And we have additional spatter back in this general area here. And then here on this frame.
Okay, and is this, may I approach the screen again? Can I just go?
Sure.
Okay, thank you. And Detective, is this also blood right here, or is that something else?
I would have to look at an additional view.
Okay, all right, fair enough. State's Exhibit, yeah, thank you. State's Exhibit 36. And what are we looking at in this photo?
These are the two windows from the inside for the front room.
Okay. Any blood up in those windows?
There will be some here. There's some here on this,
Okay.
as well as some in this general area here, and then on top of this ledge here, there will be some.
Okay, thank you. 37? What do we have in State's Exhibit 37?
This will be more of an interior shot showing that cabinet lying on the ground, as well as the victim's left arm and some additional blood.
Okay. You can see the wounds on Ms. Brewsaugh in this picture, in her arm, her torso.
Yes,
And that cabinet, is it on its, it's laying on the front side? That's the back of it that we're seeing up in the air, correct?
that's correct.
Okay. Was there blood on that piece of furniture?
Yes.
Where do you, if you recall where it is, or if it's not in this picture, we can go to another.
It's not, it's,
And then, that's fine.
yeah, I would need that additional view
Okay,
to
that's fine.
act.
All right.
Correct.
38. What are we looking at in this picture?
This is the couch with blankets and bedding that's within that same bedroom, or correction, within that same room.
Is this the front room as you enter the house?
Correct.
Okay, and this is the same room that her body's in?
Yes.
What is marked as number 3 there?
That would be a cell phone.
Okay. It's on 39. Hey, 1 second.
One 39.
39. What are we looking at in this picture?
This is going to be, my back is immediately to the front door, looking left into the second front room that connects to where the victim is.
Fair to say this is the pathway that so the front door would be basically here, for lack, am I correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, and is this the path that you would take to go to the basement then?
Yes.
Thank you. And is there blood in this picture also?
Yes, there is.
Where?
There's going to be blood on the top of this box here. And then here, as well as, and it'll show on this piece of board.
Okay. It's 140. And what do we have in State's Exhibit 40?
This is immediately turning to the right of the last photo, showing an overview of the victim as well as the front door and the window.
Okay. And again, you can see the wounds on Rachelle in this picture.
Yes.
41. What do we have in this picture?
This is on the other side, so I've been standing between the cabinet and the couch, facing towards that second room at the front of the residence.
Okay, and where would her, I'll just have you circle, where would her body be
Her
in
body
relation
would
to this
be
picture?
over in that direction.
Okay. All right. 42, or, well, hold on a second one. Is there blood on this cabinet in this picture, or is this not the,
No, not on this
Okay.
picture. It would have been on this side over here.
okay, all right, fair enough, thank you. 42? What do we have in State's Exhibit 42?
This would have been to the left of the couch. We have a black bag as well as some clothing and drinks and a clear container.
Okay. And that black bag was collected by you or other detectives, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Which one's 43? And what do we have in this view here?
This is going to be an overview of the second room, depicting the board that I previously stated had blood footprints on it, as well as a small couch with bedding material on it, and additional items on a small table into the back.
Okay. And is there blood on any items there besides the board, or?
There was a small drop on this item here.
All right, and that looks like that would be the lid to that white container there, is that correct?
That's correct.
44? And what do we have in this one?
This is an approach angle into the kitchen of the residence.
Okay. Any blood splatter in this picture, or not in this?
Not in this picture.
Okay. 45. What did we have in this picture?
This is an overview of the kitchen area in the process of being remodeled.
Okay, so this room is actually a kitchen, it just doesn't have the appliances, is that correct?
That's correct.
And what are the other rooms in this picture?
In this direction is back towards the basement and that back door.
Okay.
Through this area will be the front bedroom, what we called the front bedroom. Yeah.
Sure.
And then through here, where that light's coming from, is the bathroom. But then back here, straight back, is a second back bedroom.
Okay.
To that.
46. And what do we have in State's Exhibit 46?
This is an additional interior view of the back door.
Okay. And what is of note in this photograph?
Of note is the two locking mechanisms here and here.
Okay. And what else is that? What is that board or dark object to the right of the locking, over on the other side of the door?
I believe it's just a large piece of plastic.
Okay, it was laying up there. And then is this, the piece in the middle, that sawhorse-looking thing, is that up against the door?
No, it's not. That's actually closer to us. There's going to be stairs, I believe, 2 or 3 right in this area.
Okay.
So that's on our level,
Okay, all right, very good.
first floor level, I should say.
Okay. 47? And what are we looking at in State's Exhibit 47?
Again, an additional view of those locks.
Okay, close-up of both of those deadbolts are locked, correct?
Yes.
Okay. 48? What do we have in this picture?
This is an approach angle to the bathroom.
All right. Doors open, is that, what we see at the floor there, is that dirt or something at that point, or you're not, or do you know? Or do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's down here at the bottom. I believe it's just dirt.
Okay, all right. 49? And what do we have in State's Exhibit 49?
Immediately inside the bathroom to the right, there's the door with a small bag hanging off the handle, as well as the sink.
Okay. And anything of note in this picture?
Within the sink, I saw what appeared to be brown spots that had been washed or basically washed blood.
Okay. And wait, can you just circle where that is?
Yeah.
Thank you. And what is that? What are those items on the other items on the sink? Just can you tell us what those are?
Well, we have soap. We have, this is like a,
Which one are you pointing?
oh, I'm sorry. This is some soap.
Mm-hmm.
Additional, I believe these are deodorant. Toothbrush. I can't recall exactly what this is. I believe this may be a lighter of some sort.
Okay. All right. Thank you. It's 150. And what do we have in State's Exhibit 50?
Additional view showing some of that same sink, as well as the toilet with cleaning supplies on the top and the tub.
Okay. And there's looks like one is that a toilet bowl cleaner?
Yes.
That works, and then what's the one behind it?
I believe it's an overall just bathroom cleaner, or surface cleaner.
Okay. And then also in this picture, again, can you see the blood that you pointed out in State's Exhibit 49? Thank you. Clear that out. 51. What do we have in this picture?
And this is going to be walking into the front bedroom.
Okay. And is that, those aren't stairs back there, are they?
No, it's not.
Okay. So that door's just open to that bedroom, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. 52. And what do we have in this picture?
This is a lower overall view of that front bedroom, what we call a front bedroom.
Okay. Any blood back here?
No.
53. And again, what do we have here?
We have items of clothing with 2 cell phones lying on the clothing.
All right. And is that that's a piece of furniture, correct?
Yes, it is.
Would that be a nightstand or something, or I can't tell what that is, or a small dresser or cabinets?
It's a cabinet. I don't remember exactly what type of cabinet it was.
Fair enough. 54. What do we have in this picture?
This is coming down to the basement. I'm in the basement looking back up
Okay.
those stairs.
Do you recall if the basement was lit or dark when you went down there?
It was dark. There was no access to lighting down in the basement.
Okay, so no overhead lighting in the basement or no string to pull a
Correct.
light bulb or anything like that? No
Correct.
switches on the wall?
Correct.
How was this lit up then?
That would have been lit up with my camera,
Okay.
the camera flash.
Okay, all right. 55. And again, is this lit up from your camera flash, or did you put lighting down there to do this?
This is with my camera flash.
Okay. And what are we looking at in this picture?
The interior of the first room, when you come down the steps to the basement, my back is to the stairs leading down to the basement at this time.
Okay, and where does that door lead to?
An additional open room. This way is an additional open room underneath the front of the residence, and then there is a smaller room back to the left as well.
Okay. 56. And which room is this leading to?
Going to the right towards underneath the front of the residence.
Okay, so from State's Exhibit 55, this would be that door you just pointed out on the right, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And again, not lit up anywhere in the basement?
That's correct.
57. And what do we have here?
Looks like additional painting supplies, miscellaneous building supplies, a bucket with additional items, and the furnace.
Okay, and is there anything of note on the floor that you noticed?
I see items, looks like some sort of prints, but I'm not exactly certain what those are.
Okay, fair enough. 58. What do we have in State's Exhibit 58?
Now, an additional view tilted up, showing more of that workbench area, the bucket, and the furnace.
What's in that bucket? What's the red handle?
Red handle is some sort of like a broom type handle.
Was there anything on the other end of that handle?
I don't know.
Okay, all right. Is that some plastic coming out of the bucket, or what is that?
Yes.
59. What do we have in State's Exhibit 59?
This is a large amount of clothing, as well as another broom off to the left, a toothbrush, and other items.
Okay. 1 second, Your Honor.
Yes.
Sorry. And this is, again, this is that room off to the right, the same one that you said, and when you came down the stairs, this would have been the other bedroom off to the right, or is this now the smaller bedroom on the left?
No, we're still in the same room as the prior photo.
Okay.
Our back is now to that workbench.
Okay, all right. 60. And what do we have in State's Exhibit 60?
We're now standing where from the previous photo angle, looking back towards the door to this room would have been over in this general area. Here's the furnace, and then additional clothing and miscellaneous items,
Okay.
the water heater.
61. And what do we have in State's Exhibit 61 here?
We have a cell phone as well as a wallet and a green fleece sleeveless jacket.
Okay. Vest?
Yes, vest.
Okay. All right. And
As well as a gray shirt to the right.
Okay. All right. And the 9 and the 10 are marking what?
9 is marking the cell phone, 10 is marking the wallet.
Okay. And again, these photographs were taken on the day of October 11th, correct?
That's correct.
62. And again, what do we have here on 62?
Is there additional photos? This time the 11 is the green fleece vest. 12 is for a SIM card from a cell phone, and 13 is for a key with a red plastic portion to it.
63. And what do we have in State's Exhibit 63?
This is a view of that front window showing that floor sample.
Okay. And still blood on the window sill and the window frame?
Yes.
64. What did we have here in 64?
An additional view of that same window with that floor sample moved.
Okay. So this, you removed that floor sample to take this photograph?
Yes.
In order to show, I guess, the whole window?
Yes.
And then is there blood on the floor also?
Yes, there is.
Is that a dog bowl? Or
Yeah.
dog dish at the bottom?
Yes, it is.
65. Again, what do we have in 65?
Additional view showing the white patterns of the blood.
What do we have in State's Exhibit 66?
This is of that interior, right when we walked into the front door to the left. When you shut the door, this would be the wall immediately to your left, showing blood spatter.
Okay. And you can just show us where the mark on there where the blood splatter is, please?
Here. These are additional.
Okay. And are those in the middle one that you circled, are those tracks of where it was dripping down the wall?
Yes.
67? And what do we have in 67?
This is going to be on an adjacent wall of a close-up view.
Different wall than we just looked at in 66, correct?
Yes.
And with adjacent, when you say adjacent, what do you mean?
This
Where
one's-
is this in relation to 66?
This one's directly behind us.
Okay, from the other wall?
Yes.
All right. And that, I'll call it a ruler, or is that something that you put there?
Yes.
Okay, and what is that to you, that ruler? What do you use that for?
It's a scale to show the overall scale, so we would be able to pull that up and know that if this scale is at this, how many inches this is, then we could scale the rest of the.
Okay, and how many inches is that scale you're using?
It is, I believe it's 3 inches.
Okay, and that blood splatter is, can you just point out what all is blood splatter on there, please? Thank you. 68. And what do we have in State's Exhibit 68?
This is the blood on the cabinet. The cabinet is now standing upright.
Okay.
We lifted it up and stood it upright.
Okay,
Looked
members of the
underneath.
Hamilton Police Department lifted that and stood it up.
Yes.
This is the one that we saw earlier that was lying face down, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, and what are we looking at on, in this picture on the side of it?
We have some blood here, as well as some right here.
Okay, and am I, is it fair to say that to the left of this, this side here would be the front of the cabinet?
Yes.
And this is the side that was laying face down, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. 69, please. And what do we have in State's Exhibit 69?
This is an additional view of the front door, again with the scale and additional blood.
Okay, I'm sorry, you said this is the front door?
Yes,
Okay. And that, again, is that a 3-inch scale that you put on there?
yes.
And please show us where the blood is here. Thank you.
Yep.
Now, one second, Your Honor. And I forgot to have you look at one. Can I approach the witness?
You may.
You still have a quote there?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna have him look at 238. If you could, please flip through the exhibit book there and go to State's Exhibit 238 and identify that when you're trying to look, please.
I've located it.
Okay, you take a look at that and identify it, please.
Yes, it's a white folding knife located at the top of that cabinet that was originally laying down in the front room.
Okay, and is that a true and accurate representation of the way that that knife was located when you were there on October 11th, 2022?
Yes.
All right. I would ask that State's Exhibit 238 be admitted and published.
Any objection?
No objection.
Okay, it'll be admitted and it may be published.
Thank you. All right, so now please describe to the jury what we're looking at.
This is going to be like a crown molding feature of that of the cabinet that was face down on the floor.
Is
Within
this
that,
picture this is while it's still face down on the floor, correct?
that's correct.
Okay.
Yes. Within that, there was this folding knife here.
Okay, and is that what number 7 is signifying there?
Yes, it is.
All right. With that knife was collected, correct?
Yes.
And let's go to, actually, I think I have to switch to the other one. I have 209. It's 2 pages. Now, up on the big screen there, or I guess you said it on your screen. Can you please describe to the jury what we're looking at here in State's Exhibit 209?
Yeah, we're looking at a 2D view of a diagram of the residence.
Okay, and this would be the first floor of the house or the main floor?
Yes.
Okay, can you just point out each room and where the front door is? And
Front porch is going to be here.
I don't think, actually, I don't know if you can, is it drawn on
Might not be.
there? No, you might be.
Front porch, no, it's not letting me. But the
Okay, I'm
front,
gonna have you look here. If you would, maybe step down. Sure. Just describe what you're gonna do on the screen there, just.
so here's going to be the front porch where we made the original approach to the residence. Here's the front door. Here's the victim off to the right. That cabinet would have been laying here. The couch and those items would have been here with the phone. Additional items that evidence the additional front room, the kitchen, front bedroom, and the 2 cell phones, and the bathroom with the
Okay, and where is the, how do you get to the basement?
The basement would be, we would walk through here, walk through the back, and then this would be down to the basement. So you walk down 2 steps, there's a landing to that back door, take a left, there's an additional landing, or that's part of the same landing, and then you walk down those steps.
Okay, and let me go to the second page. And what are we looking at in the second page of 209?
Yep. Here we are walking down the steps through this door, through this room to the right, and then here is that open room in front, underneath the front of the residence. And this is the area that we located the jacket, the SIM card, wallet, and those items.
Where would that, where was that bucket that we saw, just to give a reference?
It would have been right here.
Okay, and the washing machine would have been where when you came down the steps, if you remember? Was that right by the steps?
Yeah, that was back over here.
Okay, all right, so, and then the other small room,
This is just like an empty additional storage type room.
okay.
Back in that area. There was not much of anything back in that area.
All right, thank you. You can, yes, it's- Detective, did you, you said you collected that folding knife, correct?
Yes,
And did you also collect a cigarette?
yes.
Which cigarette are you talking about the cigarette that was on the front porch?
Yes.
That we saw in the one picture of the up close right by the front door?
Yes.
Okay. May I first?
You may.
So I'm going to hand you, I'll wait till you're ready there. Good?
Yes.
All right, I'm going to hand you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 213, Mr. Wilder, and also 216. They're physical exhibits. Can you please take a look at 213 and 216 and identify both of these, please? And just for the record's sake, which one are you opening
Yep.
right now?
I'm opening 213.
Thank you.
The 213 is going to be the folding knife, the white handle that I collected from the top of that cabinet.
All right, and Your Honor, I've asked that, and that is the same knife that you collected from the top of that cabinet on October 11th, 2022, correct?
That's correct.
I've asked that 213 be admitted. Mr. Your Honor.
Any objection?
No objection.
All right,
And
it'll be
if
admitted.
I may, but can I just have him stand
Sure.
closer to the box and have him hold it up?
Sure.
Please just maybe walk down so that he can see it closer. Sorry, let me get up. Thank you, Detective.
Yep.
Now, if you would open the other one, I believe it's 216, and identify 216 once you get it open up.
$216 is going to be the partially smoked, partially burnt end cigarette that I located on the front porch of the 1270 Parish.
Okay. And that's the same one that you found on October 11th,
Yes.
2022?
Yes, it is.
Your Honor, I've asked that 216 be admitted.
Any objection?
No objection.
All right, it'll be admitted.
Thank you. May I have 1 second? Detective, I think that's all the questions I have for you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, cross-examination?
Good afternoon, Detective.
Hello.
I may jump around a little bit here asking you questions, so if you get confused in any way, just let me know. I'll try to clarify for you. Is that fair?
That's fine, thank you.
Mr. Wilder, can you put up your photos just let me go?
Appreciate that. Were you involved with any search warrant executions on that property? Or executing search warrants? Were you involved at all with any of those?
Yes,
Was it just one occasion, or was there another occasion that you went out?
there was a second occasion as well.
The evidence that you said you collected, that you just testified to, was that during the first search warrant execution or the second one?
Would have been during the first.
Okay. But you did say there was a second occasion that you went out for a search warrant execution.
Yes, sir.
You know how long after, the first time you went and then the second time you went, what was the time range? How many days between?
I believe it was 15 days.
During those 15 days between the first search and the second search, was the scene secured?
No.
And when you say no, meaning there's no tape up?
Correct. No tape or law enforcement.
Okay. So after officers respond to the scene and you're there on the day, the night of the 911 call and finding Rachelle dead, when you left the property there and the days between that and the next search, there's no crime tape up at all. Is that fair?
Correct.
And no officers on scene to monitor if anybody's going in and out of that?
That's correct.
That's correct. You said that when you walked in, it was an overwhelming smell of, did you say rubbing alcohol or just alcohol? I'm sorry.
Rubbing alcohol.
All right. Were there containers inside the house?
Yes.
How many containers?
2.
Do you know the approximate size of them? Or-
I don't know how many ounces. It's a typical size that you can find at a grocery store.
Okay. If you would, just show with your hands about how big the
Yeah.
bottle.
Yeah, just a typical size that you would have.
Okay. Stuff that can fit easily into like a medicine cabinet?
Yes.
All right. And you said there was 2 of those?
Yes.
Were they empty?
Yes.
When you were in the bathroom, did you smell that rubbing alcohol?
No.
But you said you smelled it as soon as you walked into the front door?
Yes.
Was that the only room in the house that you smelled that?
It would also have been into that second front room, but after that, no, not as much.
Where did you find the 2 bottles that you described? Where did you find those within the house?
In the front room.
Were those collected?
No.
Did you swab those for fingerprints?
No.
Did you have any interaction with Toby Madden the day that you were out there at the residence the first time?
No.
Did you even pass him at all? Was there any, like you're walking up, he's walking out?
No.
No interaction at
No.
all? So you wouldn't know whether or not Mr. Madden smelled of rubbing alcohol when he was arrested and taken away from the scene?
Correct.
Was there a knife collected from Rachelle's purse?
Yes.
Is that something you collected, or is that someone else collected that?
Detective Horton did.
Okay. The only reason I ask is it appears to be in your section of the report, but were you present when that was collected from the purse?
He notified me of what he had found
Okay.
and asked me to respond to him.
Okay. Were you? So if I had a question about whether that knife that was in her purse was deformed or warped, is that a question for you, or should I have asked him?
Probably Detective Horton.
Okay. And I apologize. I'm just
That's
looking at
fine.
the sequence of the report. Wasn't for sure who that was. So you weren't involved with that. Okay. Were you involved with the search of Rachelle's vehicle?
No, I was not.
Are you aware whether or not any rifles were found in her vehicle?
No, I'm not.
All right, that would be a question for someone else, I'm supposing.
Correct.
We went through a lot of pictures of this house. Clearly, they're doing work on the house. Is that fair?
Yes.
And there were tools. There were several different types of tools within that house that could have caused injury to someone. Is that fair?
Yes.
I mean, we even have like a rubber mallet hammer, correct?
Yes.
I think there was even something that looks like wire cutters.
Possibly.
But there were items in there. If you wanted to hurt someone, you could have done that with some of the items you saw in the house.
Possibly, yes.
Right. And I'm not suggesting that someone did. I'm just saying there were things within that house if someone wanted to threaten or to act like they wanted to hurt someone. There were things in there that could cause bodily harm.
Yes.
The back door, when you were there, you're saying the deadbolts were locked, correct?
That's correct.
You said they were still functioning. Did you go to the door and check them to see if they locked and unlocked?
It wasn't until I observed Detective Horton actually use them did I know that for sure that they were functioning.
Okay. And you did note the day that you went out there, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, there was damage to the frame, and you said dents in the door?
Yes.
And in the back door specifically?
Yes.
Okay. Give me 1 second, that's what I'm doing all this stuff. Judge, can I have a minute to confer with my client?
Sure.
Judge, that's all I have.
All right, thank you. Any redirect?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Okay. All right, thank you, Detective. You may step down.
Thank you.
Okay, so I think this is a good time for us to take our lunch break, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to give you an hour for that. It's about 20 after 12, so we'll come back at 1:20. Please remember my recess instructions, okay? We'll see you in an hour.